we just bless you in this place today, Father God. Hallelujah. We come before your presence, oh God, with thanksgiving, Father God. Hallelujah, Lord God. We say, have your way in this place. Have your way, oh God. Have your way, Father God. We come with all the reasons to magnify your holy name, oh God. To lift you up, oh God. Lord, we bless you in this place. Hallelujah, oh God. Father, we ask that you would have your way, God. Have your way, God. Hallelujah. Holy Spirit, we welcome you, oh God. We feel your presence already. Have your way. Have your way. Move like a mighty wind in this place. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Be in every song, in every word, in every prophetic word today, Father God. We thank you for this divine time, oh God. For the moment, oh God. Oh God, we ask, oh God, that you will even touch the musicians, oh God. Hallelujah, God. Lord, we just thank you, Jesus, for what you're going to do today. We thank you, Father God. We thank you for not enough to come and see about us today, Father God. So God, we move out of the way, oh God. We throw our agenda out of the way, Father God. And you be glorified. You be magnified, oh God. Save and deliver. Set free in this place today. We give you glory. We give you honor, oh God. Hallelujah. We lift our voices on one accord, oh God. We thank you now even for touching, hallelujah, the speaker on today, Father God. Lord, for we know that you put our word in his belly, Father God. Hallelujah. We ask that it will come forth, oh God. Let it come forth, Father God. In the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. We come against every spectating spirit. Hallelujah. In the name of Jesus. And God, we call forth the one accord spirit to praise you in unity on one accord. Hallelujah, God. We receive, oh God, whatever it is you want to do in this place today. And we give you praise. We give you glory. We give you honor. In your Son, Jesus' name. Amen. Hallelujah. the world. Hallelujah. But yet you still want me. You call me your own. Hallelujah. Lord, I give you me. You own the world. But yet you still want. You call me your own. So Lord, here I am. You own the world, and everything is yours. You call me your own. So Lord, here I am. You own the world.
have. It's impossible to get this much dynamite in the same location and not have an explosion. Hallelujah. How many love God? How many God lovers do we have? Hallelujah. You know, we just believe. I want to welcome everyone to Grace. And we are honored that you are here. We are honored that you are in our presence. But if you would just do this, we had service this morning and sweated out all our clothes and went home and changed clothes and came back. But we just come to give God the glory and to give God the praise. And if you would just take a quick moment and let's just put our hands together. And if God has done anything for you, let's just give him some praise. For great is the Lord and greatly to be praised. Come on, great is the Lord and greatly to be praised. Come on, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise is continually be in my mouth. So shall make the most of the Lord. How much they hear thereof and be glad. Come on. Oh, magnify the Lord with me. Let us exalt his name together. Hallelujah. I say, Lord God, and I say, God, we create the atmosphere for miracles, signs, and wonders. Oh, I feel his presence in this place. Come on, if you feel this presence, just give somebody a high five and say, he's here, he's here, he's here. We are so honored to have you all here. Scripture says this, how can we say that we love him and we've never seen him? Come on. And yet we see our brothers and sisters every day and don't love them. And then we believe in love here at Grace. So we want to take a moment. This is Family and Friends Minute. Hallelujah. We want you to go across the aisles. We want you to greet one another. We want you to show somebody some love. And let's just be one big family today in the presence of the Lord. Just welcome people into the presence of God. Hallelujah. Certainly this is a great day. And then today is the launching day. And then this young man has been cleared for takeoff. Hallelujah. And I told him when you take off sometimes, well, all the time, you never see two planes take off at the same time. Remember, this is his opportunity to take off and have a special, even more unique relationship with God. So at this time, it is indeed my pleasure and my honor, and I am humbled to be able to bring to you such a great man of God. And so I'm going to ask you, as he comes, amen, to the mic, I'm going to ask you to stand on your feet and let's welcome the man of God for the hour, the one, the only, Brother B.FIelds.
Before I get started, I would like to invite somebody up who doesn't frequent Michigan too often. She just found out literally about 10 minutes ago that I was speaking. She thought she wasn't going to work this weekend. But I was said to be instant in season and out of season. So I'm going to call my mama up to bless us with a selection. She's the one where the oil originates from. Y'all give another hand. We're trying to pull them on. She got the oil. She got to tell everybody.
I'ma beat all of y'all. In Jesus' name. Well, let me say really quickly, God bless you. And thank you for having me and giving me this opportunity. But thank you all. This is a good surprise, actually. He knows how I feel about surprises, but it's a good one. So all is well. Oh my gosh! Oh, how wonderful and beautiful it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Thank you for launching him into his season. God has been a long time coming. And I'm going to tell you, as my firstborn, he was 9 pounds, 4 ounces. So he came into the world big. So it's only right that he lived big in the land. Praise God. And so I thank you. And God bless you. I've heard thousands of stories of what they think you're like, but I've heard tender whispers of love in the dark of the night, where you tell me that you're pleased and I am your own. You're a good, good Father. Yes. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I am loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. Say you're a good, good Father. It's who you are.
Lord, we thank you. Your children have gathered. Your children have gathered. I know that you're excited. I'm excited. They're excited. So blow our minds on today. God, I surrender. Ask you to use me as your vessel. Do what you will with me on today. Feed your people. Place an expectation on the people of God, for he's a father that meets needs. He's not a deadbeat. He meets every need. He exceeds every expectation. God, we ask you to move. Thank you for clarity of mind, clarity of speech. Father, open every heart and every mind to what you want to do on today. We'll give you glory. We'll praise you all the more forever. In Jesus' name, amen. You may be seated. Woo. First of all, I want to thank the man of God for seeing something in me that most didn't. For being humble enough to share his platform with me. Thank you for the Grace family. I didn't know this was coming when I said yes over a year ago to take this assignment here. But I'm grateful you guys have helped me grow in ways that I can't even explain. I thank you for my mama, who's been my support system since I was born. I carry her spirit just a little bit rougher with it. As you guys will see today, but I'm thankful that you guys all came out. I'm grateful for the support. Whoa, he's a good father, isn't he? He knows what you need when you need it. And I just started to give up. Wonder when it was going to be my turn. As soon as I didn't care about it anymore, he said, you can have it. So, I started to find that as a trend in life. When you take it down off the idol, for the mentor which will give you, he knows he can trust you with it. So, I do have a word for you. And I pray that it lands on softened hearts that are open. I'm a bit far-sighted when it comes to the prophetic and things that God is moving and doing. But if you just bear with me, I can promise you in the next 3 weeks to a month, you'll start to see what I was talking about. So, everybody here is saved, I assume so? Yes? No? If not, we'll deal with it at the end. Okay. But this word is definitely for his children. And it's a prophetic word in nature. If you're familiar with prophecy, it deals with your past, your present, and your future, and it can happen all in one sentence. So today we will talk about your past, we will deal with your present, and I will talk to you about the future and try to add context to what has been going on with a few of you lately. So, if you would, if you have your Bibles, or if you're a millennial who uses technology, no shade. We are going to the book of 2 Timothy, the first chapter, I'm sorry. And the Lord led me to the 7th verse. But I'll start at the 6th. It says, for this reason, I remind you to kindle afresh the gift of God which is in you through the laying on of my hands. The 7th is what the Lord spoke to me a month ago when Pastor first mentioned my speaking engagement. It says, for God has not given you a spirit of timidity or fear, but of power, love, and discipline. I'm going to do the first half of it. I don't want to talk about fear. It's funny because my mama been mentioning it for like all day. She's like, you got to be dealing with me about fear. And I'm like, I'm trying to hold my peace because I'm like, you're going to find out today. For real. Honestly, if you've been hanging around me, all of you have been in my message, so I know it's a long time word. So if you would indulge me just for a moment, I won't be before you long. And that's tentative. Subject to change. But God is not giving you a spirit of fear. Fear. What is that fear? It means timidity in this verse. This is the NASB, the New American Standard Version. And God is dealing with fear because he did not create any punks. Okay? This is talking about the spirit that God has given you. If you are a blood-washed a believer, and you believe in God, you should have the Holy Ghost inside of you. This is your stamp and seal for the salvation that is to come. And with that being said, there are certain fruits that hate produces, and timidity is not one of them. So I want to talk to you about fear. I want to ask your neighbor, turn to your neighbor and ask, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Is it animals? I know we had a chipmunk in here about 2 weeks ago, and everybody scattered like ants in the rain. Like, it was rat, like rodents. People are afraid of. It makes you cringe. It causes you to be frightened. What else are we afraid of? Donald Trump is in office, so we're afraid of war. Some people are afraid of birds, bugs, terrorism. Some people are afraid of violent acts. Some people are afraid of fighting. I haven't enrolled in Penn University, so I would say that some people are afraid of the gym. It's okay. We're going to deal with that today. But I just want to talk about what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Fear. It's the definition of something. It's an overwhelming emotion that causes fright. And fear has a bunch of different causes. I believe it's Matthew 18 chapter when they saw the angel that came down from the Lord. They were overwhelmed with fear and they became immobilized. The Bible says they fell as dead. It causes you to be paralyzed. You can't move. What else does fear do? Fear causes you to hide. We see that in the garden. Adam did what they weren't supposed to. Heard God coming. They were like, wait a minute. Like he ain't got x-ray vision. But it causes you to hide. So I ask you again, what are you afraid of? What is keeping you from who God called you to be? He has not made you fearful. He has not made you timid. And I want to add context to it because for what the season that's coming and that we're actually preparing for, fear cannot be nowhere in you. It can have a place in you. You're going to have to be bold as lions. You're going to have to stand up when everybody else is sitting down. You have to be willing to go against the grain, against the crowd, and stand on the word of the Lord. Amen? So, fear. I want to deal with fear as in regards to confrontation. Anybody afraid of conflict? Thank you, Carrie, for being honest. Appreciate it. Anybody else afraid of conflict, confrontation? Some of y'all ain't, I know it. You got to tell me that shit before. I want to deal with confrontation and conflict because that's where it starts. You talk about being more than conquerors and being victorious. You cannot win victory over anything without a fight, which involves conflict, which involves confrontation. The man of God had declared this house to be a house of war. I believe God took himself to be a man of war. If you just read the Old Testament, you'll see that's very clear. So we got to be skilled, very skilled in conflict and confrontation. First, we're going to deal with your past. What are you running from? What are you running from? A lot of people don't want to look in the mirror because of what the past has said. You have to confront those things. And confrontation doesn't always mean a fight. Sometimes it just means to turn around and face that thing. And I can tell you, when the Lord gave me this word a month ago, since then I've been facing my past every day. From the moment I wake up, he'll remind me. And I'm like, Lord, I done tried all the little tricks. You start fasting, you start praying, you start pulling all the scripture, you know, Lord, I rebuke you, Satan. And God is like, stop. He's like, I just want you to look at it. Because if you can't look at it, you won't even know what victory looks like. Right. Just stand there. Stand there. Just stand there and look at it. It's uncomfortable for most. Some of us will turn around and we'll hurry up and do this. Okay, I looked at it, Jesus. No, stand there. Look at it. I would say, stand and see your salvation. Look at it. And for some of us who have a struggle, which is i.e. might be an addiction or a pet friend, a coping mechanism, a vice, whatever you want to call it, we're afraid to look at it because looking at it, it requires you to address some things. It requires you to acknowledge some things. It requires you to accept some things. And you got to make peace with certain things. Another reason I want to deal with conflict is because the Bible says, blessed are the peacemakers. You can't make peace out of something that's already peaceful. So there has to be a conflict, there has to be a confrontation, there has to be addressing or dealing with something. And that's what I'm after today. What about your past are you running from? What about your past are you running from? You can always tell if you're done with something by how, if you can talk about it.
Yes.
Two, if you can see the people from it and don't feel no type of way. If you see people from your past and you say you was over it, but all the emotions come flooding back, guess what? Somebody was lying. So you want to deal with your past, deal with your past, deal with your past. What else about your past? Past failures. Fear of failure is a big thing. It causes people not even want to try anymore. It causes you to give up and quit. If something even looks like it did last time, you're like, oh, Lord, I'm cool. I ain't doing that no more. Like, I'm good. It just looked like the last time. No. But God is like, this time is going to be different. Can anybody bear witness to that? This season is different this time around. And most of the struggle was God getting us off the X of last time, of our past. Well, God, it didn't work last time. I'm a carpenter that. He deals with me through judicial system. He be like, son, make your case. And I be like, okay, case point in 1 through 7. It failed last time. Why am I doing it again? He's like, because it's going to work this time. You just got to trust me. And that's what I'm telling you, to trust God again, to trust God again. I want to talk to you. The Lord gave me a word while I was preparing for this. And please hear me, open your heart. He said, I have eagles who are groveling in mud puddles with pigeons. I'm going to say it again. He said, I have eagles who are groveling in mud puddles with pigeons. What do pigeons and eagles have alike? They're a bird. Two totally different birds though. I'll start with pigeons first. Pigeons you see on the street in groups, doing what? Minding people's business, stealing stuff, they scavenge. They used to use them in war to carry messages. I equate that to what? Gossip. Like, they just walk around delivering messages they ain't supposed to. They don't have any real vision because they're on the ground. They lay low. They fight over things that apparently all of them seem to want. Throw some seed out, you'll see them bum rush it. Pigeons can't fly far. They can't see far. They don't have the capacity to do things that eagles do. And I happen to believe that I'm standing in a room full of eagles. Some of y'all don't believe that, but I'm going to prove it to you. I'm standing in a room full of eagles. Let me see if I can explain for you what an eagle is. How do you know you're an eagle? Because some of y'all didn't clap, you should have. Eagles believe there's something more to this life. Eagles get bored quickly. Eagles actually kind of like adversity. They don't know why, they just do. The devil has added a twist where we'll take adversity and we'll join in it rather than rise above it. Has anybody ever seen an eagle soar? There's no flapping of the wings. There's no energy exerted. It's just nothing but a posture. So, as an eagle, you look for adversity, supposed to be to rise above it. So, I'm going to be myself today. So, because Donald Trump is in office, we should be happy. It gives you a chance to soar above. Let me tell you why eagles look for adversity. One, eagles have laser eyesight. They can see another eagle from a mile off. That's why some of y'all was scared when I showed you who he was and you didn't even know it. It was like, Brian, stop. You're scaring me. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, listen, you don't know the oil that rests on you down, you hear me? Like, but it's like they can spot another one. Eagles, back to the adversity, They soar above it. They spread their wings and they stay above the air by maintaining a certain posture. What is that posture? That posture is prayer. That posture is worship. That posture is digging in his word. That posture is choosing to love when it don't feel good. Why? Because you can handle it. Here's why I got mad with God. He said, son, I made you strong. I said, okay, so what? I said, why can't I use that to my advantage? He said, no. He said, I used it. He said, I gave you strength for you to endure. I didn't like that. I'm an athlete. For real, I'm an athlete. If I got an advantage over you, I'm going to dominate you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to show a clear difference between you and I said, that's not that way in this kingdom. He said, I made it so you can endure. So therefore, you have a different capacity. You have a different strength to endure. And I need you to rise above some of this stuff. But I didn't maintain the right posture. So, began the process of me dying to myself. Began the process of much frustration, which both my mamas have taught me out of. Began the process of him breaking me to show me exactly who I was. Ask your neighbor, do you know who you are? Now I want you to ask yourself, do you know who you are? My mom over there quoting Brown, y'all. She said, "Sell." I heard it. But eagles. It's meant to, you have to keep a certain posture. And when I studied eagles, they will actually perch until adversity comes. They wouldn't fly. Their wings is too heavy. It causes them a lot of strife. Like they exert too much energy trying to fly like other birds do, so they wait for a storm to arise. And this is where I get in trouble. Because I like adversity. I do. I look forward to it. It's like, okay, time to flex. But, I mean, it's a different kind of flex though. It's just, when the storm comes, the winds get so strong that if you sprint just far enough and you keep the right posture, you will coast and ride above. And notice they just ride the waves of the wind. It's like surfing. And they turn. When the wind pushes them to turn, they turn. I feel like that's where some of us fall off the boat. It's bad enough to get us to fly, and then when we do, God say shift, and you be like, oh, Jesus. Yo, it took me too long to get here. Like, you want me to shift? No. You gotta ride the wave. You gotta lean into that thing. You gotta lean into that thing, and He will carry you. Yeah. And I believe that's the season that God is taking us into. That's why you can't be afraid of anything, because God is gonna start doing some stuff we ain't seen before. He's gonna start doing some stuff we ain't heard of before. And you gotta stay in that posture of prayer where you know His voice and you can move with Him. And I'm telling you, He's gonna take you places you've never seen. That's a good spot to praise Him. You know who He is. That's exciting for Him. He knows who He is. But eagles. So He said, I got eagles groveling in mud puddles with pigeons. And that's why you're bored. That's why it's like, is there any more life? Like you was made for more. You were created for more. You have more strength, but you will never see it until your next challenge. One thing you learn about the weight room, and you can bear witness to this, is sometimes God has to push you past your limit just to show you how strong you really are. We don't like being pushed. We don't. Why? Because we hang with pigeons. They can't be pushed. It's like in their capacity. So it's just like, okay, well, they ain't doing it, I ain't doing it. Yeah. But sometimes, like Pastor said, you got to be willing to go along. And God will show you who you are. Part of my testimony is that I've been in Kalamazoo for 8 years. I left the great state of Delaware in 2009. I've been out here on my own, and that actually facilitated my growth. I was away from home. I didn't have a friend except for Lewis Toller. And I had a dream that the Lord eventually told me was just a vehicle, so let it go. But I had no choice but to depend on God. I got into a situation in 2011 with a young lady in which I had no choice but to grow. The devil literally tried to kill me. And when I got out, I saw a vision of 3 demons who were laughing. They said, we almost had you. And from then I got really, really serious. Like I was saved before. Like I met the Holy Ghost at 11, but at that point, I said, oh, no. This thing is for real. He tried to take me out. So I got serious. And some of y'all need to get serious. You do. Everything you want is locked up when you get serious. You wonder why, God, I can't do this. You're not serious. I want to do this. You're not serious. I'm a personal trainer. I get verbal commits all the time. Most do not show up to the gym. I'm serious. Okay, we're gonna see. You sure? Okay. But the reason I said that is because there's a certain level of pain involved with growth. And one thing P.J. Fleck taught me is he said there's the pain of success, and there's the pain of regret. I think we are all familiar with the pain of regret. That's the easy part. Quit. It's like, well, and it's familiar. So it's just like, well, I can always quit. But to do something you never had or seen before, you got to do something you never did. So there's a pain of success. And actually, the pain of success is far more greater because it requires a circumcision of the heart. Thank you, circumcision. I like that. When we read about circumcision in the Bible, does anybody actually know what that is? They take a knife to a male's genitals, and sometimes these jokers was grown, and they chop the foreskin off. That's painful. Y'all looking at me like that's just something we can do anyway. Okay, we're gonna see. Like, right after church, like, let's go. You ready? It's painful, but it's a pain necessary for covenant. It's a pain necessary to reap the blessings of God. Old Testament speaking. It's a pain necessary to get you where you need to go. And some of us won't even step up to the blade because we don't really understand what's on the other side. If you really understand what's on the other side, you will go through it. Sometimes God don't tell you all that. He don't tell you the fine print. Jesus is the master salesman. I'll give you that. He'll show you the big picture, but listen, I want to see you in the Kia. We're going to get you this deal. Oh, by the way, your insurance payments is $400. He don't tell you all of that. But it's necessary. It's necessary. It's necessary. I'm going somewhere with this. Fear is necessary. The pain is necessary. Dealing with your past is necessary. If you don't deal with your past, you have a right to your future. The funny thing is, we try to run from our past all the time, but the joker always catches up. He's fast. Sooner or later, he's going to catch up. And if you don't deal with that thing, he's going to sabotage you time after time after time. So today, I want you to take a look at your past and start to confront some stuff. What am I running from? If things ain't working, God's promises ain't showing up, take a look back. Sometimes you might got some loose ends you didn't tie up. You might got something you ain't dealt with. You might got a fear that you ain't confronted. Amen. So, God's not giving us a spirit of fear. We got to be masters in conflict and confrontation. What's another thing that fear causes? What else do we fear? One big thing I was saying, it was like a month ago, God showed me, and I was, excuse me for being blunt, I said, yo, God, your church is full of a bunch of rejects, bro. Like, rejection is running rapid in the church. But the reason I tell you that is because we have to be skilled in it. We have to be skilled in dealing with it. We have to be skilled in identifying it. We have to be skilled in and really casting that joker out, because he will ruin the future. See, rejects don't understand opportunity. They see it as a struggle. They see it as like attack. Like, it's just like, why they coming at me like that? It's like, no. Why they get invited? It's just like, oh, no. Like, you rejected. How many of you know that rejection is actually biblical? Jesus was rejected first. He was. But there's a difference between being rejected and actually being rejection. Like receiving that spirit. Like when you internalize that thing, it changes your whole viewpoint on stuff. Like you don't see stuff the way you're supposed to. You don't receive correction and rebuke, which is healthy for you. You don't receive it the right way. Like, and I can see why church hurt is a legit thing, because everybody's rejected. But it's like you got to learn how to be rejected or get rejected and not be rejection. That's a big thing. That's really a big thing. And I say that because we're on the verge of revival, people. I don't know if anybody's noticing it. I got a slight bit of an Issachar anointing where it's like the times of the seasons is coming to me. I'm not listening. Time is up. That's why God listens. The fact that I'm standing in front of y'all means that God is up to something, okay? Because you let my friends tell it, I'm about as rude and as blunt as they come, but God is like, I'm not playing no more. It's time for you to get it. I got to get you off the X so you can move and be who I called you to be, because God don't waste stuff. He don't waste stuff. He didn't invest all of these gifts. He didn't invest all of this power and anointing into something that's going to sit still. He didn't invest all this stuff for you to be like, nah, I'm cool, God. He's like, wait a minute. If that's the case, I should take you home. I said it. If that's the case, he should take you home. You are put here to do something. I get mad. I'm like, who do you think you are to use up 70 years of God's resources and don't give him nothing back in return? Hello. I mean, hear what I'm saying? It's like you were here for something. You have a purpose. There's a reason you're here. You have gifts locked on the inside. This is what Paul was encouraging Timothy. He's like, yo, fan in the flame these gifts that I've given you, bro. Don't be discouraged. Don't be cast down. Because this is actually when Paul was finna to die. So he was going to lose his mentor. But he had invested everything in him that he needed for the journey. He's like, yo, listen, you got the juice. Don't worry about me. I need you to be bold in this season to go forward. So don't worry about being rejected. Don't worry about conflict and all that. Just handle it in love. We're going to get to that later. What else? What else are we afraid of? What else are we afraid of? What else are we afraid of? People are afraid of pain. I do not like chronic pain. I can deal with any amount of pain for a short amount of time. If that thing lasts longer than a week, no good. Tap out, I'm done. That's it. I got sick my freshman year up here. Michigan got a different kind of winter, y'all. I was sick for a month. I ain't never been sick for a month in my life. I said, Mom, I'm coming home. This nigga's lasting too long. This must not be God's choice for me. You know, when stuff lasts too long, it's like, okay, this must not have been the right decision. Like, God is like, no, I'm just trying to show you something. But pain. Talked about pain. The pain of success versus the pain of regret. Which one will you choose? We already know what quit feels like. We already know what it means to give up.
Yeah.
Why not get to the other side? The problem with getting to the other side is you can't do it on your own. That's what some of us don't like. Pride. We don't. I don't. Like, why you can't just do it this way? Like, in all your infinite wisdom, I was like Jesus in the garden. He was like, listen, you can't find another way to make this happen? I gotta go this route right here. Like, what you mean? Come on, God, listen, you omniscient, you all knowing, there's other ways you can do this. Let's just go another easier route. It's a problem. We want easy. We want easy, but then when we say we different. Wait a minute, pause. What you mean you want easy, but you want to be different? Because different people do stuff that's hard and they make it look easy. Come on, Eagles. They take storms and they soar above it. Where everybody else is crying, they like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, just wait till the bombs start falling over in America. Then I'm like, bro, why are you chilling? You know, Riri and them just got killed in a bomb, right? You're like, I ain't worried, because I know where I'm going after this. To live is gain, to die is gain. Don't live fear and death. That's another fear. Fear of death. What you scared of? Maybe because death ain't a promotion for you at the moment. Death is my promotion. Paul said, listen, I love y'all, but I don't have to be with him, but for y'all's sake, I'm gonna stay. I got work to do. Oh, but you best believe when I'm out of here, I told you, don't cry at my funeral. Don't you do it. Because I will not be crying. I'll be shouting. I'm pulling out all the steps, killing all the roaches in heaven. I'm sorry. That's just me being me. But what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Fear is a very real thing, man. I got coworkers, they fear like they're female. I work at a domestic violence shelter and they fear being abducted. I mean, to the point like they don't even want to get out the car to run 100 yards to get to the building. But like, Brian, can you come outside and watch me? I'm like, Jesus. I mean, we got cameras, lady. We can pick up cars, license plates, faces, all of that stuff. It's hotel in here. I don't like scared cats. I wasn't allowed to be scared. Right. The reason I said we got to be scared of confrontation is because you'll actually find out that fear is what? False evidence appearing real. Yeah. Right. It's a lie. Now the problem is that there's actual evidence. Yep. It will be evidence. You got your past, you got people talking, it's just like, okay, that might be true, but it's not be true. You see what I'm saying? Just because I was a liar back then don't mean I'm a liar now. Right. Yeah, I might have been sleeping around back then, but that's different now. That's not my truth. Yeah. It was true then. Facts change all the time. 30 years ago, if you was gay, you had a condition. Now that's a darn fad. It's like, okay, I'm sorry. Touchy subject. Oh well. Confrontation, right? It is what it is. Facts change all the time. The rainbow used to be God's what? It was a sign of his promise. Now we run from it. Right. Uh-oh. Got a rainbow on. I don't know. I'm loosening up, y'all. It's okay. It's okay. Praise God. No. I told you. God told me. He told me 2 years ago. He said, son, I have a specific time and point for you to speak because you're a little bit rough. But I'm here, so you got to deal with it. I apologize later. We'll hug it out. But what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? So, he said he didn't give us a spirit of fear. He didn't give us a spirit of fear. But you got to make peace with these things. You got to make peace with them. You got to accept some of these things. Here's a controversial truth. You will have flaws the rest of your life. You will be imperfect the rest of this natural life. If you were perfect, God will call you home. It's that simple. The day that we become perfect is the day that we what? Look him in the face. We see him face to face. That's when we will receive our perfection. So until then, you have to learn to live with these things, which is why I said that every day for the last month, he's brought my flaws to me. It actually keeps you humble. David, I believe it was, what was it? Psalms 51, he said, my sin is ever before me. Yeah. I have to live with it. I have to deal with it. You can't go back and change history. But you can't operate in grace. You can't plead for mercy. You can't get rid of that stuff, but you can rise above it. You can live above it. You can live down any reputation you've had. You can live up to what God has called you. Look to your neighbor and tell them you're an ego. You are an ego. Now, it said he has given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power. Whew, that's a loaded word. Power. Say power. 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 Shout it out. Power. There you go. I think you got some power. Now, the Greek word for that is dunamis. It's the root word of where we get dynamite. Dynamite is a change agent. Okay? When dynamite shows up, everybody's on alert. Okay? Which means you should change atmosphere as you walk in. It's just like, uh-oh, who that? But also, when dynamite goes off, nothing around it remains the same. See, the problem with some of those situations is that you refuse to go off. You refuse to go off in prayer. You refuse to go off in worship. You refuse to go off. You refuse to go off and allow the Holy Ghost within to erupt. God, some of y'all just need to go off and everything around you will change. You're dynamite. You are packed with power. Say power. Power. Say power. Power. That is a change agent. You are in the situation that you are now because God intends for you to change some stuff. Stop running. Stop trying to get out. How about you start making some change? You are a change agent. An agent of change. When you go off, nothing else around you remains the same. Got a coworker you don't like? Change it. There's a song we listen to. I don't know who the rapper is, but he said, if you don't like something, go do something about it. Don't like your job, do something about it. Don't like your church, do something about it. Don't like your money, do something about it. Come on. You can create change. You are a change agent. Go off. Go off. They be like, I ain't trying to go off. No, you need to go off. Okay? You need to go off. Set some things straight. You have dominion in this world. We just learned earlier about kingdom. You have dominion in this world. Whatever you says goes. The problem has been going on because you allowed it. Go off. Power. Say power. 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 I have power. I have power. Because it's placed it in you, and it's not you, it's the spirit inside. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel that. Yes, sir. Now, it's the power that allows you to be a peacemaker. He keeps bringing it to me. Make peace. You have to make peace. You have to make peace. You have to make peace. You have the power. You have a gifting inside of you. You have something inside of you that's the solution for this situation. That's actually been prophesied. I don't know who said it. I said, but the world's problems, the solution is going to rest inside the saints. The question is, do you believe it? We sit around and talk all day. Like, yeah, this is crazy. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. Do something about it. You got it. And if you don't, you can pray about it. Sure. We are the #1 most resourceful people when it comes to negativity, but we won't use it for positive, i.e. the internet and Holy Ghost. Some of y'all be praying for Powerball numbers. I said it. Like, God, please, in the name of Jesus, I need the digits. Because you want the money. That's how you use that same zeal when it comes to solving world's problems. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why not? Some of us don't like to read. That's a lie. You will read a whole news feed that's 40 pages long on Facebook. It's not interesting to you. It's not a priority. Use the internet. The internet is an awesome resource. Y'all don't got learning problems. Y'all got interest problems. You can learn anything you want. I've seen people sit in front of a computer for 8 hours straight. It's like, bro, did you use the bathroom? But you can't study for other stuff that's important to you. It's like we gotta shift our focus. Everything we need is here. We trying to find out a way to go to another planet. How about we master this one first? Like, resources. You are resourceful. You have it, and you just gotta shift your lens. You gotta shift the way your perspective. It's the way you look at things. The internet is an awesome resource. The Holy Ghost is the cheat code to life. If you don't have a relationship with Him, you are crazy. Like I Some of y'all ain't your fault. We can deal with that at the end, but I'm telling you, the rest of y'all, I'm upset. Well, like, I just don't know what's going on. What you mean? You have the central intelligence agent of heaven and earth on the inside. Why don't you know what's going on with you? You don't ask the right questions. The key to revelation is asking the right questions. I said again, the key to revelation is asking the right questions. People just be like, well, my situation sucks. It's like, well, what about this? I don't know. What about this? I don't know. It's like, bro, you really don't care. You're not really trying to solve this. For real. Ask the right questions. Ask the right questions. Why, God, why did you make me like this? I was raised, you can't question God. That's a lie. Yes, you can. Your motive's got to be right. You can ask God why. Why did you make me this? What's my purpose? Why am I here? Why did you create me this way? Where do I fit? Because even though we might see it as a flaw, it actually fits perfectly in His plan if you're in the right place. So you got to find your niche. Tell your neighbor, find your niche. Where will you bloom? Find your place to go off. Find your place to go off and life will become grand, I promise you. It will. And sometimes it's uncomfortable because your paradise, they got a whole bunch of bushes right now. They didn't even take the time to groom and weed whack the outside. So it's just like, look a little bit scary. Like, you sure you said this God? That must be the devil. The devil out buying you, get out my prayer closet. For real. It's like, he's like, no, that's what I called you to. Because if you get in, 5 feet in, that thing will open up. It'll open up like a flower. And that's how I feel about this whole presidential race. America's been processed. And what we're going through actually is very biblical. It's very, very biblical. Whenever God's people turn his back on him, he had a way of bringing them back. This is what makes him a father. Everybody likes the good lovey-dovey side of God. That man, and I'll say it, he's a gangster. God is an OG. Have you not read Exodus? Have you not read any of the Old Testament where he said, go kill women, children, and cats and dogs? Like, he said, I want it all gone. He has anger. His anger is aroused. But he never loses sight of it, which brings me to my next point, because of his love. Say love. Love. It said he'll give you a spirit of power and love. Love is the user's manual for that power. It gives you a target. It gives you parameters. It teaches you how to do certain things, why to do certain things. You can't just be out here loose cannon with powers. You're going to destroy yourself. You are destructive. You are dynamite misplaced. Love directs that thing. And we have to master that. Especially if we say to his kids, he gives love. Wait a minute. I know you're a Christian by your lips, but your life ain't saying so. Woo! Jesus. Does your life represent him? Do people know you're a Christian because you wear crosses? Because you play gospel music on Sunday? Or because you go to church? The worst excuse I've ever heard in my life. Are you saying, yeah, I go to church? That's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you. The devil go to church, he got perfect attendance. He show up more than we do. Go to church. No. Do you know him? Do you know him? Do you have the fruits of the Spirit? See, when he's on the inside, he's a change agent. He's what makes you a change agent. So when you have the Holy Ghost, something should be changing about you. You have begun a process of perfection. It's going to come out later. Y'all go get the book when I release it. It's called The Road to Perfection. It's dealing exactly with that. Like, you have begun a journey. You have begun a journey of being perfected in love. And love has a good side, and it has a bad side. See, the thing is when God beats us, he's not God. And that's the devil. And it's like, we don't want to receive that, but I don't know about y'all, but every young black man that I was going to turn a successful guy, his tail whooped growing up. You had to. Foolishness is bound up in the child. You got to drive it out. The rod of correction. You got to whip it out. It's okay. But can you endure it? Can you endure it? Thank you, Holy Ghost. The reason we can't endure is because we don't have a why big enough. See, if you have a why big enough, you can endure anything. Some of y'all don't like doing certain physical things. If I dropped $2.5 million over here, you would try your darnest. You would endure every kind of pain. You would endure the suffering because why? I got a why big enough. This pain is worth it. But you don't know your why. Why don't you know your why? Because you don't know your value. Why you don't know your value? Because you might not be that close to the king.
All right now. Sir, go ahead.
It's like, because when you to him, he shows you more of who he is. And the more you see of who he is, you will see who you are. Because he is love. And the kind of love that we're talking about here in this scripture is agape love. And it's outward. It's what caused him to give his only begotten son on our behalf, so half of us will betray him and not go anyway. It's that kind of love. It's what I call the insane kind of love. It's the love that does it in spite of. It's the love that does it because it has more to do with me than it got to do with you. It's because it's in my DNA. I can't help it. That's the kind of love we're talking about. That's what kind of love that directs that power. Now I got power to break the demons off you because I love you, even though you talk about me, even though you stand on my back, even though you use and abuse me, you walk over me like a goddamn rug, and I still love you. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It's who I am. He's a good, good father. We good children, ain't we? We good children, ain't we? Amen. It's love. It's the user's manual for that power. The last part of that scripture says that he gives us discipline. Some translations say sound mind. If you look into it and study it just a little bit, it'll let you know that the proper reference for that is self-control.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to tell you now, the same struggle with this. Period. Self-control. The commentary as I read it, it was talking about self-control for the sake of going out. Because we're not meant to stay in these four walls. It's going out and being in the world, but not of it. It allows you to be around people who are drinking and you're not drinking. It allows you to influence people even in the midst of foolishness. First of all, here's what blew my mind. I found out that there are Christians who go to pornographic conventions and minister. You know how sanctified you gotta be for that? Everybody tore up their face. I know, but who's supposed to go get them? Right. You expect God to drive an angel to go minister to him? Hey, go over here. God loves you. No. He's gonna send us. Who's pure to that point? It's something we can't even fathom. I'm talking about faith prayers now. Faith prayers. So we're so lustful we can't even listen. If God say that, we might get happy. I deal with it. Be honest. Be real. We're talking about confrontation, right? What else do we fear? We fear just that. Truth and transparency. Truth and transparency. Whew. There's a level of deliverance that comes from confession alone. Gotta hear it out. See, the devil's playground is darkness. As long as nobody flicks the light on, he's got the upper hand. You gotta tell somebody. Yes. Not just anybody. Because I told y'all, you can hear my pictures, they're gonna run and tell you stuff. But you gotta find another eagle you can confide in. Someone who's gonna edify you. Someone who's going to pray for you. Someone who's not going to let you dibble and dabble when you want to.
That's right.
You have to find somebody that you can be honest and transparent with because there's freedom in that.
Amen.
See, when I got my deliverance in 2011, I called my mom and I aired it out. I did. I told her everything. I mean, graphic details, probably more than she was willing to hear. But because her being an eagle herself, she did not say, she didn't do this. She did this. She said, son, we'll deal with it later. She said, I'm going to show you how to get out of it. And we'll deal with the rest later. That's exactly what she did. Let me tell you why that's important. Because we're on a brink of revival, things are going to get so bad in America that who are they going to turn to? They're going to turn to the church. Because if anybody got answers, it should be us. And we can't do this right here. We got to do this. And we'll deal with the rest later. Amen? Amen. That's key. I'm telling you, that's important. But that's why we got to confront stuff, because we got to be healed. Hurt people hurt people. So you got to deal with your own stuff before you start here trying to make disciples that's hurt too. And then we just repeat the cycle. We break the cycles this time around, I'm telling you. And that's a decree in Jesus' name. We break the cycles. We break the cycles. Not this time around, sir. Not this time around. We break the cycles. So, God's not giving us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. And I'm wrapping up. You got to know who you are. We all decreed earlier and declared, at least out of our mouth, he's a good, good father. And we're his children. We claim to know the Holy Ghost and have him on the inside. We have to have him on the inside for the times that's coming. Because actually, things are supposed to get worse. Here's a prophetic word God gave me 2015, 2016. No, it was 2015. He said the next 5 years, America is going to be in a process. He led me to a book in Isaiah in which God would try people, he would try his people, he would try Israel. He would test them. And after things got so hard with trials and tribulations, he would say, will you receive me again? And they denied, they smacked his hand away. They didn't want to turn. They rejected him again. So they would endure another cycle of years. And he would come back and be like, are you ready now? Are you ready to turn? Are you ready to repent? They would smack his hand away again. Each cycle got worse and worse. Because he's disciplining you. He says, it's love. You don't like this kind of love, but it's love. He's like, I'm trying to get you to turn your face back to me, which America didn't about face. But what he told us, he said the next 5 years will be the first of subsequent waves of what I just described, which actually equals the end of Trump's term. So if we don't get it right, guess what's coming next? Another wave. If we don't get it right, guess what's coming next? Another wave. Now, he's not talking about all of America. The Bible says, if my people who are called by my name. See, the problem is the church has turned their back. The church has become a mixture with this pagan society. The church has started worshiping these idols with America. He's talking to us. If we can get it right in the next 5 years, next 4 actually, and counting, he'll turn and he'll heal our land. He will hear our prayers. America return to be the great country it's supposed to be again. No? That's what we got to do. And it's on us. It's on us. See, God don't hold you accountable for what you don't know. The world is ignorant. He's not talking to them. He's talking to us. It's like, y'all know better. I've taught you otherwise. I placed otherwise inside of you. And this is what's coming. That's what makes this message prophetic. Because I'm talking to eagles. And eagles do what? Eagles can spot other eagles. We were called to make disciples of all men. So as you begin to get healed, you can help other people get healed. See, the thing is, you can't lead anybody anywhere you haven't been. I'll say it again. You can't lead anybody anywhere you haven't been. So if you are not on a journey of healing, how dare you turn around to somebody and be like, yeah, let me show you how to get healed. You don't know where we're going. There's a blind leading the blind. They all gonna fall in the ditch. Like, you gonna crash and fall. I mean, how? But you got to begin your own cycle. That's why we got to start within. You have to let God perfect you. And as they come in, because they're coming, as they come in, they're like, let me show you. Let me show you how this is done. Let me show you how to get past that. I know it hurts right now, but it's going to get better. You know what I'm saying? Discipleship. That's the way Jesus set it up. The first generation churches who were returning back to discipleship. Love. This letter was a letter to a son in Christ. It wasn't Paul's actual son. It was somebody that he took along on his journey and he showed him what it was. And then he actually gave him a whole region to reign over. He said, listen, I got to go through this time. I got to lay down for a while, as the streets say. I got to lay down for a while, but I need you to do this. And you can do it because I've shown you. So, I'm done. Y'all can stand. Y'all can stand. Let's play something soft so ready. Glory to God.